Hey team, Jim here. Today we're going to wrap up our core behaviors under the value of achiever with one final principle. And this is a super important principle, and that is clean your plate every day, every week, every month. Clean your plate every day, every week, every month. One of the most efficient foremen that I've ever worked with had this down to a science. He would finish everything in an area before he moved on. And once he stepped off that roof section, the only person who ever walked back on it was the inspector. I see a lot of crews who think that laying out sheet as fast as they can and making it white as fast as they can equals getting more done. But that is a deception, that's an illusion, because what it takes to then go back and complete it actually makes it take longer than if every section is completed every day. And the same applies to tasks like doing accounting or doing an estimate. If you complete each step and you complete everything every day, you will simply work faster, better, more efficiently. So for that foreman who made sure that everything was complete every day, that made him incredibly efficient. And here's the trap that most of us fall into. We vastly underestimate how long it takes to wrap up the loose ends. I can't count the number of times that I've heard, we're going to be done with this roof tomorrow. And you know what I'm thinking as I hear those words? No, you won't. Not because you're lazy or bad or anything wrong with you, just because in almost every case, people are underestimating the small, unfinished tasks and how long it takes for all those little things to get done. And so I see consistently a crew or a foreman or a superintendent will say, we're going to be off that roof tomorrow, and it's not tomorrow, it's the next day or 2 days later. Sometimes it's 3 days later. And that's not just a roofing thing, it's human nature. I once worked with a woman at a ministry who had 2 rules. I'm done by 3 p.m. every day, and every task is done before I leave. So she gave herself a time deadline and a task deadline. I'm done by 3, all my work is done before I leave. And she never left a loose end, which meant she started every day fresh. She never had to go backwards. She was always moving forward. So think about that in your role. Loose ends cost you time, efficiency, organization, and peace of mind. They force you to redo plans, they delay progress, and they force you to carry stress that you don't need. The fix is simple. Finish what's on your plate before you leave the table, and do that every day, every week, every month. Because the more you clean your plate, the more efficiently and effectively you work. Have a great day.